Okay, I don't expect this is hold on, let me get rid of this. Oh wow. There we go. Hey, it's Christmas. This is my second review this day, and I got my hat on. And I've even got this in try and provide some kind of liveliness. And I don't know how to intro this because normally I'm doing something that appears on Untappd, and I can do a review and I have reference points and it's all good. But in this one, I'm doing kind of a follow-up to a review I did, which is actually, believe it or not, my most watched video where I review the Untappd, the Pinter weird DIY brewing system, which comes in this kind of strange capsule. And I went through like from arriving to unboxing to trying to brew to the resulting brew. And I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that that is actually the most unpopular thing that I've ever done, other than unboxings from other places, right? Some of the more obscure beers I don't get. By the way, Merry Christmas, because it is Christmas Day while I'm recording this. Allie is sound asleep, heavily proseccoed into a beautiful, I hope, dream state. I'm up in my room. I'm trying some beers. Go check out the previous one where I sipped a Northern Monk 41% and then immediately put it back into the bottle because it is terrible. And now I'm back doing the Pinter review because it is actually cured today. I timed it to be ready for time for Christmas. Okay, I didn't. I timed it to be ready in time for Boxing Day, which I have done. And it is hopefully ready. It's iffy, right? The first one I did was okay, but this was Space Hopper. And it's meant to be very hoppy, and you might criticize that and go, well, how do they do that? How can they make a pre-packaged beer that achieves a certain double IPA hoppiness? How do they do that in a capsule? Because there's a lot to that. Double IPAs, triple IPAs are not out of the box or not formulaic in their creation. Most of them require late hop or dry hopping to get that kind of floral or really nice. It just doesn't happen. Otherwise, you just get left with this really like strong bitter, which is okay. You know, you can make a Westie that is really good, but who knows, right? They may have achieved it. They may. But we are willing to be flexible. And I realize now that I was holding the guitar on the way into this review. And do I have to do something for you? I have to do. All right. So, wait, what could I do that is Christmassy? All right, here we go. A little bit of G. So this is Christmas. And what have you done? There we go. Another year almost over. And a new one about to begin. There we go. Hey, there we go. So this is Christmas. I hope you had fun. Almost got it. The near and the dear ones doesn't really matter. The old and young. I was holding the guitar. I felt pressured. I'm sorry I put you through that. With more prep, I'm normally a little better. Let's try it. All right, so let's zoom in down here. Here we have it. Let's adjust the camera. There we go. So you see right here. One of the problems I had earlier with the Pinter was that it didn't fit into a normal fridge. I've been assured via Pinter 2 that has been fixed. But I refused to buy the Pinter 2 because it cost twice the price of the Pinter 1. So why would I do that? Let me just check the comments to see if anybody is live or whether bots are all over me. Jesus. Adam's live. So I have tried this. It's been sitting for a week. I've followed all the instructions. So it should be good, but I just don't have faith that a double IPA can be done with a thing like this. I just attached the handle. and I'm going to pour a pint. So I have to throw away a little bit, and I have to adjust the back. By the way, if you get the pint or two, the whole adjusting by the back has been adjusted by the front because that was moronic, and they fixed it apparently. So let's move that. There it is. There it is. I don't know if you heard that, but it just kind of farted. And so now I'm in pour mode. So you can imagine you can't, without air going in, it doesn't really work. So here we go for Space Hopper. Double IPA, apparently 7%. We'll see. We cannot say it's not carbonated. I should just go with that. All right. Let's retire it. Must remember to fix the thing at the back. Otherwise, all the bubbles go away. Okay. All right. Christmas Day. Forgiving guitar infused beer drinking. Mersey Beers, if you didn't catch my guitar earlier, you dodged a bullet. Oh, I got the camera. Oh, all right. So super heady, that's irrelevant, right? It's just very grainy. Very grainy. Really, like really grainy. But it's very bubbly. So there's evidence it should be fermented, right? It should be super fermented. All right, let's let it go. Let's just try it. By the way, Space Hopper. I'm gonna let this head die a little bit. And show you what I mean. If you don't know what I mean by this, and you're like just watching me because you're I don't know, like a total beer review whore, which you might be. I hate this front page. It just makes me want to vomit. It's like Inception. I can't even find my mouse pointer to go, where am I? So I can get rid of it. Right, this is Pinter. All right, la 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 la. Yeah, Jesus, I hate that. I hate it. I hate it a lot. All right, so Pinter is a kit. Look up here. This is probably the best way to do it. Is to go, it's a little machine. You throw the gist of it is you chuck a bunch of wort into it that someone else has made. You have faith they made it well, which is faith, huge faith. And then you chuck some actually their sanitization method it's pretty sound. I actually kind of like it. And then you chuck some yeast in, you have no control over that. But they have this weird thing that clamps onto the front, like that abstracts away all the gunge that the fermentation process creates. So you flip it on its head, like normally where this would be. Watch my other video and you'll see. It's like the wrong way around. It's like it's heads up on the tap, but the tap's removable. And then it ferments. And then when you're done, you kind of click it and it auto seals itself. And all the crap that you would normally have to use tubes and, be more complicated to remove. Kind of like making good gravy, if you don't brew beer. You end up with that isolated, and then you leave it in the fridge. If you're ideally, you cold crash it, and then you boom, you got it, right? You got it in the fridge. And then you end up, and you get settling, and then it pours out again, like a gravy separator, and you end up with the result. So if it works, it works. And the last one I did, which was the basics one that comes with it, was a session IPA. Was it an IPA? I think it's here. It's going to be here, right? Not Space Hopper. Uplands came with it. Was actually quite good. Very dark. A little Sam Adams for me, but it was okay. You can see the color, right? Yeah, well, that's the expectation. It was okay. I give it a pretty damn good review for the kit. And frankly, I think they should have sent me a free one because flipping hell, like I've had of views. I think I've had over 1,000 views of that review. I had nowhere near anything else because it's an interesting product, of course. But I now have tried Space Hopper, and the head is down, so it's time for the verdict, right? I smelled it, and it seemed grainy and dog foody. I didn't say dog foody, but it is. So now I have to be honest. Because I was waiting, and the first one I took a while to make, and then I needed space. One of my criticisms of the Pinter one was that it doesn't fit into most fridges. It fits into this fridge. This is now a normal fridge. The ones I have outside, it doesn't fit into. And probably your fridge does not fit into, but the Pinter 2 does, because they, like everything I said was crap about Pinter 1 was in the advert for Pinter 2. Which blows my mind. I'm like, who else complained so exactly about it? Anyway, I'm going to contact them and see if I can get a freebie for 2 and do a review. But 0 hops, like not just like weak hops, like 0 hops for a double IPA is garbage. It's terrible. As a Pilsner, a homebrew Pilsner, I would give it a 6 out of 10. As a little bit on the edge, no, I would say it's a 5% Pilsner. I would gamble money on that. I am getting 0 hops. It's a complete failure as a double IPA. Completely. Now, the expiry date, and Bears, if you're still watching, was November 30th, I think. And I started brewing it 2 weeks later. I know that's really important for the hops. Really important. But is it 2 weeks important? Is it 1 month important? Or is it this is a total car crash, tire fire of a double IPA important? Maybe it is. I'm willing to accept that I pushed the boundary, and my result is that I have lost lager in a bottle claiming to be a Space Hopper double IPA. Very, very malt forward. And it will be a desperation pint if I'm out of beer. Everything I have here, including the lost lager that I was gifted for Christmas in my fridge, I will take over this. So there we go. There's that review. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know. It's meant to be a kit, so I can't do anything wrong. But that's what Space Hopper turned out like. I will now be contacting the Pinter people just to see, like, hey, I love your mechanism. Why is it so garbage from a hops perspective? You have a house of hops. You have a tropical debate New England IPA you've released. These are all new, and they claim to be Pinter 2 exclusives and all this kind of stuff, right? So did I waste my money on this? Can I trade up for less than 150 pounds for a Pinter 2? I will investigate this, and I will come back to you on this channel with my investigation, because I do not want to get into the shit I used to do to brew with the this and the that and the metal and the heat and the friggin' where I would basically do 1,000 things and somehow still screw up one of them, and everybody else's beer tasted better. So screw that. But until then, this is a 4 out of 10 double IPA. I probably can't do it on tap, so I'm going to drop it right there. I will add to it, but do follow, because I'm going to do Dry January again coming up, and I have a ton of like off the shelf weird alcohol-free beers in January. But until then, next week, oh, don't you worry. This fridge is full of weirdness, and I will, because I'm not working, I'm probably going to crush the channel a little bit. So follow along. I'll be mostly live, and I appreciate you following along. Adam at Mersey Beers, thank you once again for the weird time in the evening for being along for the ride. I appreciate your support. Until the next time, my name is Steve Jaguar. Please, if you're not already a fan of the brand, or if you don't brand, it's not really a brand, do all the things, give me a thumbs up, send the word out, tell your friends about me. If you're doing panels, I just realized, if you're doing these weird panel things where people talk about beers, I'm a huge fan of those things. I have time, and I'm a massive fan of doing that kind of dumb things late at night. Invite me along, and until then, until probably tomorrow, I will see you. This has been a BeerNative beer review. My name is Steve Jaguar. I thoroughly appreciate you watching. Steve out.